Rise and Shine gave you the news at 8 o'clock and your weather. And then this touch of a classic song, with Graceland, Paul Simon. When you talk about Graceland, you think about Elvis Presley, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, and that song, that word, and that, that voice that you heard right there, it's Dr. Florus Prinsloo, all the way from the Garden Route Skills Mecca coordinator. Well, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Sebastian.
How are you doing?
I'm great, thanks. Yourself?
No, good. I saw that tinkle in your eye there when you heard that song, Graceland.
No, I'm an absolute Paul Simon nut.
Goodness.
I love it. Yeah. Thanks for that song. By the way.
Pleasure, man. Pleasure. It's nice having you with us.
Mm-hmm.
It's Monday morning, and I can see the two of us. We don't have a blue Monday now.
No. I like Mondays. Let's get going fast.
Yes. Well, we have Mr. Actually, Dr. Florus Prinsloo with us this morning. Doctor, welcome.
Thank you.
They call you Doc. We're going to be talking about the upcoming Skills Summit, right?
Yes.
So, can you please introduce yourself to the listeners and also what the Garden Route Skills Mecca is all about?
Yes, thanks very much, Sebastian, and good morning to everybody out there. It's nice to be here. I am contracted with the Garden Route District Municipality, and we look after a really innovative program called the Garden Route Skills Mecca. It's a socio-economic program, and the basic objective is just to help people become more employable and get jobs. And as the Garden Route word indicates, it's across the entire district. So we work with all 8 municipalities and so on. A little bit of history. It's a program that started way back in 2017, 7th of June 2017, the fires in Knysna.
Yeah.
It came out of the fires.
Wow.
So from those fires, those days, I worked for the Premier of Western Cape, the Honourable Helen Ziller. But I also reported to a man that's the Premier now, a guy called Alan Winde. And of course, Alan comes from Knysna. And I worked for him then, and they sent us down here, and they asked us, the provincial government, to come and help the college to rebuild, after all the fires.
Yes.
And one of the processes that came out of that rebuild process was this idea of a skills mecca. And the terminology is quite simple. A mecca is a place where people really go to, they flock to, like like the Muslim colleagues, they all go to Mecca.
Yeah.
And the skills mecca is where people come to learn. So the idea is to create this learning environment in the Garden Route.
Yes.
And so we've got lots of programs all over the district, helping people to learn all the time. That's really what the Mecca is all about.
Brilliant stuff. Now, do I understand you correctly, Doc? Does this Skills Mecca platform benefit the entire district, or could you please explain how exactly does this work?
Yes, no, absolutely. So what we've done is in each municipality, so all 8 of them, so the Kanaland, the Bittos, the Mossel Bays, etc., all 8 of them, we have structures in place in every one of them. We call them skills endowers. So it's a little endowment. Every 3 months, the colleagues locally get together. So it's the businesses, it's the municipalities, it's the providers, the training providers, it's the youth desks, it's colleagues that are interested, the NGOs. I'll give you an example. Recently in May, we had a wonderful session in a place called Melkhoutfontein, which is just outside Stilbay.
Yes,
at the community
place.
thing. Yes,
Yeah.
And we got colleagues there. What are you doing to train people to teach? And we give them information about what are the new developments going on in skills development, etc. And so this happens every 3 months in every municipality. So ek ry baie rond en ek gaan na al hierdie wonderlike plekke toe, wonderlike mense. And we've got people in each of the municipalities that we call a skills mecca technician. So these are 12 young ladies and 2 guys, and they are right there at the local municipality that can help people.
That's brilliant stuff. Well, if a young or unemployed person from the Canada applies for learnership in George, does that mean that they relocate to George, or will there be a learnership in the local area too? So what I mean by this is, how do a balanced opportunity for all the areas of the region? Is there a balanced opportunity?
Thanks for that question, Sebastian. It's a very, very important question. One of the most important things about the Skills Mecca is to avoid travel, because travel is like costs, So you're right. I mean, if there's a youngster living up in Zoar, and now he's got to come all the way down to George. That's just not practical, you see. So what we do is, when we get a funder that comes in and gives us some funding for money and so on, we then contact all local municipalities and say, listen, guys, for example, right now, I have got some money for 20 young electricians. So we said, okay, guys, 2 per municipality. So I got all of my contact in Kanaland, a young lady called Michaela, and I said, listen, Michaela, try and find 2 young guys or girls who are interested in becoming an electrician. Here are the entry requirements. and she goes and looks for them and so on. And then slowly but surely, we make sure that those people get trained locally and not all in George. That is a critical issue of the Skills Mecca.
Wow, great stuff. Now, how does a person get his name on the database you mentioned?
Okay, so there's a couple of ways. We do have a website, and but that database is not yet on the website. But what we are doing is we have partnered with the Extended Public Works Program, the EPWP colleagues. And these colleagues are all over the district. They've also got offices and databases. So we encourage folks to go along to each EPWP office and fill out what they call the unemployed learner registration form, and it comes onto the EPWP database. When we get opportunities, we go to the EPWP database and say, guys, who's on the database that qualifies for the opportunity? And we start contacting those people and shortlisting them and so on. So that's the way to do it.
Wow. Now, there you have it. What are the highlights of the Garden Route Skills Mecca so far since its establishment?
Well, I think something that really is quite heartwarming is that all the municipalities, through their municipal managers, have all signed MOUs, memorandums of understanding, to support the Skills Mecca. So, and this is quite wonderful because it means that all the municipalities are working together. We've got a good system in place, as I said, our Indabos, our technicians, and so on. We have really good communications through the Municipal Managers Forum and also at the District Coordinating Forum, which is where the mayors sit. So every 3 months I report. So I report up and I report down. And, you know, when you have those kind of communication systems in place, things work quite well.
No, that is amazing. Yeah. Now, Doc, I believe you are also here to talk to listeners about 2 upcoming events later this week. Tell us about these events.
Okay, so I think for the general public, what is very important to note is that on Thursday and Friday, which is the 13th and 14th of July, we have a careers festival going on at Knysna. It's at the Knysna Sports Fields, which is just opposite the waterfront there, you know, the big sports fields. Yeah, it's exactly the same venue where normally the Oyster Festival is held.
All right.
So we're there. And this event, by the way, is being sponsored by the Western Cape Community Education and Training College, which is an organization that not that many people know about, but it's just a national organization. And it is being funded by one of our SETAs, the Services SETA. Thank you very much. Services SETA, by the way.
Yes, welcome aboard.
So we are expecting a lot of kids from the various schools, but it's open to the public. And I can tell you we've already got close to 12 SETAs confirmed to come and exhibit. A lot of our providers, the South Cape College will be there, the Nelson Mandela University will be there, etc. You know, Africa Skills, our local provider of the private sector, Josh Map, and so on, you know. And so people can go there and find out about programs and opportunities that are on offer for learning. That's the Career Festival.
Wow.
Parallel, on Thursday, we have a leadership summit of all the people that are in leadership environments around the Skills Mecca. And we've invited these leaders to the Knysna High School. So these are from all the municipalities. We've got quite a lot of SETA colleagues there because they generally are our funders as well. The National Skills Fund, etc. And what we're doing there is we're just reviewing progress to say, okay, guys, we've come from 2017. We've got a set of resolutions that we work against, things that we have to do. So question 1 is, are the resolutions still okay? Do we need to tweak? And then also what is quite exciting, how we work, by the way, Sebastian, is we encourage business sector, particularly private sector and so on, to come with projects, to come and present projects of how they can help people get jobs, you see. So I've got 5 projects on the table.
Give them a deeper insight as to what they...
So there's a renewable energy project, there's an asset-based community building project, etc. You know? And I think these are really interesting. And hopefully some of the funders that are sitting in the audience will look at this project and say, hang on, I want to support that. And on Rolly Villa.
Yeah, that is so true. And, you know, I know you touched on it, on certain of my next question. I know you touched on certain of it, some of it now. Who will attend the Garden Route Skills Summit?
Well, it's the leadership around the Skills Mecca. So certainly all the councillors from the district municipality. We have got senior individuals from all the local municipalities. I want to particularly, maybe just a little plug here, if I may. In all the local municipalities, there are these colleagues that are called economic development managers or local economic development managers.
Yes.
They know who they are. I don't want to mention names and so on.
Yes.
But those are the key leaders, you see, because remember, it's skills development, but it's skills development for jobs. So we work with the economic development people in the municipalities, because that's how we can get the economy growing and jobs going, you see.
Absolutely.
So those colleagues will be there. I just want to also mention we do have the provincial government joining us from Cape Town.
Yes,
Quite a large thing. This is the Economic Development and Tourism Department, DDAT as they're called.
Yes.
Because the provincial government has recently released a brand new strategy called Growth for Jobs strategy. So it's about creating jobs as well.
Yes.
And they're coming down in the afternoon on Thursday. We're workshopping this strategy to see how can we as a district support the province and so on. This leads into onto Friday. There's another event on Friday, which we are not organising, the provincial government, but it's called the Premier's Council on Skills. The Premier's coming down with the Cabinet, and they're also discussing this strategy. So on the Thursday, we're saying, okay, guys, how can we support this strategy? And then on Friday, we report back to Premier to say, Premier, this is how we're going to support you.
Wow, I love it, man. I love it. Now, who do you want to see attending the Careers Festival, and remind us where it will be held?
Okay, so Sebastian, the Careers Festival is at the Knysna Sports Fields, which is opposite the waterfront. I think most people know those great big fields there.
Yes, opposite that Caltex garage.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
Big fields there. And look, the people that we really would like to have there are your grade 9s, from around the schools, and possibly your grade 11s. Those are the two sort of really key points in school where youngsters have to make decisions about the future. You know?
Absolutely.
And so if these youngsters come there, they'll see, for example, a lot of the SETAs will be there. The tourism SETA will be, for example, and they will be able to explain to these youngsters what are the opportunities in tourism. You know, tourism is huge, particularly for
especially in the Garden Route.
You know? And so they can go there. Okay, I want to be a cook. I want to be a waiter. I want to just run a Airbnb. Stuff like that. You know? Now they can discuss that, and it's never too early to start thinking about what is it they want to do.
It's actually a good idea to get them young, get them focused and show them what they are capable of. They never know.
Yeah.
And I know about some youngsters that's at school and still start their businesses. You get a lot of them.
Absolutely. And in fact, one of the projects is all about that. It's called New Venture Creation or Entrepreneurship and so on. And so we'll have at least 2 local providers that are also going to be there talking about that as well. So,
brilliant.
If you're interested, let's face it, jobs today in South Africa are very scarce. What is the alternative? The alternative is to start your own thing.
You sound like Dr. Balisha.
So just
that's what he always preach. He says, sorry that I quote him now, but he always says, young people should start focusing on themselves, and trying to they got these new ideas, put them into place, get the older generation to just guide you, similar to what you are saying now. That's what the Career Fest is going to be all about, Now, is there anything else you would like to share with the listeners about the upcoming events?
Well, I think it's important to note that this is part of a process. We started 2017. This is a long-term process. It's not something that happened overnight. I just want to give you a little bit of the vision that we've had. There are certain towns in South Africa and in other parts of the world that are known as a place of learning. For example, Stellenbosch. Stellenbosch, when the kids are there, when the students are there, that economy grows, because it's not just about the learning, but the kids go and have meals. I mean, if there's a rugby match, a varsity match, the GDP of Stellenbosch just grows.
Yes,
all right.
Yes.
Now, when the kids leave and they go home for holidays, the actual Stellenbosch comes to a bit of a grinding halt. Not much happens there. And this is the concept that we have for the Garden Route. When people come here, they not only come for nice holidays and some, but they can also learn while they're here.
Yes.
Many years ago, I went to some of the places in other parts of the world on holiday, and I discovered in certain parts of the world, when you go there and you go on one of these little tours around the city and something, you can also actually sign up to learn something. So, for example, when I was in Austria, I went to a little palace there, and I learned how to bake apple strudel.
Ah.
And so I did a 3-hour course while I was on holiday to learn how to bake apple strudel. And this is the idea. So the Mecca, when people come here, they come for holidays, but they also come to learn, and so on. So that is just what I wanted to share with you as a vision. And it's a vision that we're all very passionate about, literally from our leader, the Honourable Memory Boyson, our executive mayor.
Yes.
He's absolutely passionate about this all the way down. So that's my story.
Wow, interesting story. Well, guess what? I got a question for you from one of our listeners. They asked, what about matriculants that are not in a job? Can they attend?
Absolutely. Look, the Careers Festival is completely open to the public. So, if somebody is sitting at home and, looking for something to do, please try and get to Knysna. I know that sometimes, costs, taxis and so on is a bit of a problem, but try and get there. And you may be surprised. You might just be able to find an opportunity. Sign up with the SETA, you see.
Absolutely true. It can be a life-changing opportunity.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Doc. It's Dr. Florus Prinsloo, and he's from the Garden Route Municipality, having a chat with us about the Skills Mecca. And if you'd like to get involved, you can also give me an email at skillsmecca.gardenroute.gov.za, or you can check out the website www.gardenroute.gov.za. Or if you want to speak to the doc directly, you can email him at doc@gardenroute.gov.za, and he will contact you. Seriously. Well, thank you so much, Doc. It's been a pleasure having a chat with you. All the best for today.
Can we have some more Paul Simon now?
We have to break for the news, unfortunately.
Okay.